Okay, this video is about manipulation and what we can do about it. So you realize, don't you, you drivers out there, that Uber and Lyft are designed these apps and there are tons of algorithms and they're designed for one purpose: pay you and me as little as possible, and pay Uber and Lyft as much as possible. So in this video, I'm going to share with you three ways that I know I'm being manipulated. And it just angers me, really. And then I'm going to share with you how you can transform the relationship so that you, rather than being manipulated, can be in charge and back in control of your domain. And stick around, because towards the end of the video, I'm going to share with you a way that I recently discovered just this weekend that I got manipulated. And boy, it made me so mad. So all that and more coming up.
All right, before we get into today's video, let's just give a special thanks to today's sponsor, Para. And you can now track your mileage for free with Para. You can also like and dislike customers, restaurants, and locations, auto-decline lowball offers, see hidden trip information, including the exact drop-off address, see if you're delivering to a house or an apartment, and know the total payout. Also, earn up to $50 an hour with ParaWorks, doing high-paying catering, packaging, and medical delivery jobs in your market. Check the link in the description below. Let's get back to today's video.
Hey everybody, it's Jake Rader with the RideShare Guy. Drinking a little Morning Joe. All right, so by way of background, we're going to talk a brief history of Uber and Lyft's relationship with drivers. So I go back to 2016, which was my first full year. Man, things were awesome. I was an independent contractor. I was getting 80% of every ride that I delivered. I was being offered a $500 bonus by both Uber and Lyft for achieving, it was 120 rides with Uber. Super easy to get. I was clearing lots of money. Everything was great. Then things started to change. Uber and Lyft started putting all these rules and changing things. We used to have multiplier surge. We went to penny surge. And instead of feeling like an independent contractor, I started to feel like an employee. A lot of drivers felt the same way. And that's why we had, all of these lawsuits and Prop 22 and things like that, because Uber and Lyft changed the nature of the relationship. And we didn't like it. However, for those of us who are still driving, we have lots of things that happen to us during the day, which result from some tech bros in San Francisco putting together these algorithms to pay you and me as little as possible and pay Uber and Lyft as much as possible, and try and do it so the drivers have a smile on their face. So let's jump into manipulation number one. The extreme ridiculousness of the ride offerings. All right. So unless you do what I'm going to show you, you really don't have much of an idea of how different rides pay you radically different amounts of money. So what you're seeing here is I took 20 rides and I laid them out in this spreadsheet. And as you can see, the revenue fluctuates this is a per hour revenue, from a low of like $11 to a high of $32. So you understand what I'm saying. Some rides pay you a third in terms of dollars per hour compared to other rides. So if you accept every ride as Uber and Lyft recommend you do, you're taking some rides that just aren't paying you much at all. So what you can do here is learn how to quickly evaluate your rides and accept the ones that pay you a good amount of money per hour, and decline. Don't accept the ones that pay you little. Okay? So this is a fundamental key to your success out there if you're interested in making money. Now, some drivers are just interested in, driving and doing what Uber and Lyft want, right? They think that Uber and Lyft are their friends and their partners. We're not partners with them anymore. So if you're out there to make money, taking care of you and your family, then you got to become selective about the rides that you accept. and as this spreadsheet shows, radically different rates depending on which ride you accept. Number two, and this is specifically pointed at Uber, they don't provide auto accept of future rides. So when I'm driving around with Lyft and I have a passenger in my car and another ride comes in, Lyft just notifies me that another passenger has been added to my queue. And then once I'm through with that passenger, I can look at the ride, go and pick them up, or I can even decline it. That's great. So in this case, Lyft does a great job. But Uber, who I'm driving more for up here in Sacramento for other reasons, doesn't offer that. And boy, do I feel manipulated because of it. So I have to drive my car. I have to be focused on the passenger in the back seat, the road, my Waze, my GPS, and then at the top, I have to notice that if they give me a little notification and a little tiny ping sound, then I have to click on that, quickly look at what they're offering me and either accept it or not. A lot of times I'm conversing with the passenger and I don't even see it, or I see it at the very end and when I go to touch it, it's gone already. And then I miss out on a ride that could have been a great ride, or I drop off the passenger and instead of being on that ride, I am going to sit for 5 or 10 minutes waiting for another ride. So that really is quite irritating. And it's just something that Uber doesn't need to do that, but they do it because they can, because they know if I don't accept it, it's just going to go to the next driver and he'll accept it. And if he doesn't or she doesn't accept it, then it's going to go to the next one, right? So it makes sense for them, and that doesn't matter. They're going to get a driver for that ride. So it doesn't matter that it's difficult or infuriating for the drivers. Okay, and number 3, this one is priceless. And I just discovered this weekend. So here's the situation. I have somebody in my car. Uber does the little ping thing. I managed to get it. And it says it's $40 for like a it was like $30 for about a 30-minute ride. And I thought, awesome. That's like $60 an hour. That's even double what I normally want, right? So I drop off my passenger. I drive fast, get there, because I don't want that passenger to be waiting. And this is what I see when I get there. All right. I see that now at this point, Uber lets me know that this is a reserved ride. Okay. They didn't let me know ahead of time. What they're saying here is that I have to wait now for approximately 25 minutes before this passenger will come out, right? Because that's when it was scheduled. So now my 30-minute ride is turning into a 1-hour ride because I have to sit there and wait for half an hour. Or the other option I have is just to cancel it and go get another ride. So I decided to sit there because I didn't want this passenger to be stuck. And it was an okay ride, but nothing that I could get too excited about. It was about a $30 an hour ride with all the extra time. But why couldn't you just tell me that this was a reserved ride and tell me what time the pickup was? Well, because they don't have to, right? They figure I'm going to get there and I'm just going to wait, because that's what most drivers will do. And that is, in fact, what I did. But it was so infuriating to think, oh, this is great. 5 minutes, they're going to come out and I'm loaded up and we're going to go to the airport. And then I just had to sit there for 25 minutes. I don't like sitting and waiting and being inactive. But that's what happened. So that's just another way that someone has figured out to work the system to the benefit of Uber and Lyft. So what are 3 things you can do when you feel manipulated? One is accept this is how it is, okay? Uber and Lyft are not going to become our friends. They're not going to become our partners. They're not going to care a hoot. They're not going to give a hoot about us. So once you accept that, then you're making progress. Number two, be super selective about the rides that you choose, right? They're going to tell you, accept everything that comes your way. There's no benefit to do that. As I showed you, you can accept a ride that pays you $10 an hour, or you can accept a ride that pays you $30 an hour. The choice is yours. And that is something that you can control. That is something you can control, and you absolutely should. And number 3 is shifting your perspective. So the way I think about it is Uber and Lyft are the casino. They are the house, right? And most of the time they're going to win. But if you play it smart and you realize that's the situation we're in, you can work the odds in your favor so that you don't take too much of a hit and you keep your head in the right place and you make as much money as possible. So it's a shift in perspective. And hopefully this video has explained to you a few of the different ways that you're being manipulated by Uber and Lyft. And once you just kind of see the situation for what it is, you realize that you need to take control of your interests, right? That's the mindset you need to have. Okay. So I want to thank you very much for watching the video. I hope this diatribe about manipulation by Uber and Lyft empowers you and has you looking at, how you drive and how you accept your rides so that you can actually go out and make quite a bit more money rather than accepting every single ride. You go out and have a great day. If you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, definitely subscribe. Be safe out there. Go tell someone you love them, and you have an awesome day. Bye for now.